Hey guys, this is the Man Philly, and today we're probably gonna be putting the engine in. I've already, before I started the video, I've already got it off the engine holder. I've already forgot what it's called, but I don't trust this plate right here, this lift plate. So I went ahead and I put a chain with 2 bolts on each side holding it in. I don't have any shorter bolts, I wish I did. But that's gonna be the backup if that falls, and if these failed, it'll go to those, and that's a grade 8 bolt. I know that, but I don't know about all the other bolts. But I know they're at least really close to that, so. We'll be installing the flex plate. I painted it over there. I ran out of Chevy orange paint on one side, so I had to put my old caliber paint on the other side, so it's pretty close, but it won't matter. We won't see it. It'll be a different color, so it'll look a little bit better. But we are going to be installing this flex plate. So I'm going to show you how to do that, and I'm going to tell you how much torque you need on the flex plate and everything. Better get you a torque wrench. So hopefully we'll be able to install this today and then start installing all the wiring and everything. And if anybody knows how to do wiring, tell me in the comments, and because that'll help a lot. And we'll get right to that flex plate. Okay, so for the flex plate, it's gonna have to be 65 foot-pounds. So I've already got my torque wrench set. Try to keep that on there while we... Let's see if these bolts are fitting first. Perfect. Okay. It's gonna get the paint on it, but it's whatever. Let me start torquing these down. Okay, so while I torque these down, again, each of the 6 bolts are 65 foot-pounds, and there you go. And I'll be right back with them all tightened. So, see you then. Okay. What I found out I have to do when I'm torquing down these bolts, it keeps on turning the engine over. So, I had to get this and rest it up against a hard part. Don't rest it up against your pan. And then you just torque it. It's gonna be hard, but you heard that. And I got all of them torqued to 65 foot-pounds. And it's very important that you do so, because this is spinning against the transmission. And You don't want it to get bent because it might have some resistance against the torque converter, which that will make resistance against the pump. So I'm going to show you how to slip in the torque converter next, and then we'll be connecting that to the bell house and then connecting torque converter to the flex plate. Then we'll be ready to install it gladly. Yeah, but also always make sure you have a backup. And that was a scary bird. I don't think y'all have seen this engine on the channel before. Y'all haven't seen this engine on the channel before, but I built this myself. I didn't do the transmission. I got Hank's transmission to do it, which is just a little shop in Alabama. Yeah, but I built this almost all by myself. Had a little bit of help from my pops. He just led me to where I needed to go. So really, building the engine, it's not that hard. You just have to get it right, and don't skip no corners when you're building it, because that could end up badly. And then all your hard work over those few months of getting it machined, then building it for the 2 days, would all be gone. That would all be gone. So I'm gonna put this up for now, like keeping it nice. But on okay, so bell housing bolts are 25 foot-pounds each, and I need to look at the torque converter bolts, but I'll do that later in a minute. So yeah, I'm gonna be getting it. So turn the engine. Turns pretty. I turned it a little bit, but I don't want to be shaking it too much, having resistance against that. But we're gonna get to the torque converter part, and I'll show you how to do that. So be there in a minute. Okay. So I got this up to here. Let me tell you how I put the torque converter on. So I slid it on to the little shaft that was coming out, and then I kept turning it and pushing it, and you're supposed to go. So you turn it and you push it, and it goes, it slides in one time. You keep turning it. It might take long, doesn't matter, and you gotta push it. You gotta be pushing it. And then it goes in a second time, and then you keep going, and then you feel it a third time. And that's how I put the thing in. You gotta be pushing it, like pushing it up, pushing and turning, pushing, turning, and you have to go in 3 times. And then you're all the way in. So that's how you do that. And we're gonna be torquing these down. So we already get that one. I just put it on the stand so it would be easier, but it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter how you do it, as long as you do it right and you do it, that's good. Well, sorry, transmission. This part of the video is a little later in the day, little later in the day because I had to go to Tractor Supply because the bell housing bolts that I ordered would not fit. So I had to go get some from some grade 8 bolts from Tractor Supply, which they're probably better than the OEM type. Well, it wasn't even OEM, it was just off of Amazon. But let's torque these to make sure. Okay. A little past that. I don't know what that is. Alright, so we've got the transmission pretty much connected. I gotta do those 3 bolts over there, but we have this part of the video done. I don't know if I'll be putting this in today because I have to get my tractor out and lift it up with a tractor because I can't be rolling this cherry picker on some gravel. So that's how this is gonna go. Isn't that nice? The transmission dude painted it for me. Okie dokie. So I'll catch you then. Okay, I don't know if in the last part I forgot about I had to do a little bit of research. So I'm gonna have to torque the torque converter bolts, set them to 30 foot-pounds of torque with your torque wrench, and that should be good for what you're doing. And then next we get to drop this thing in, so let's go. Okay guys, it's a new day. I wasn't able to film the rest because I was so tired because it's so humid and I was sweating to death. But here you go, it's in. You got the small block 350 in, and now we can start getting this thing ready to run. So I'm very, very excited about that. Let me get a little bit of cloth here. But yes, I'm very excited, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to start this thing up. It's gonna be a little bit before we do so, because I still have the cross member I have to do, but that's just normal small work. And yeah, but we got it in. I really hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something from this video. And that's it. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. And we've got more to come. I thank y'all. See ya.